We'll be honest, prior to the release of Clarkson's Farm, we believed that Jeremy Clarkson trading in vehicles for cattle would be disastrous. However, surprise and behold, the program turned out to be a delightful and amusing view into rural farm life, complete with characters so endearing that it gave Jezza a run for his money when it debuted on Amazon's Prime Video in June 2021. Even the host of the Grand Tour seems to have been taken aback by how much he enjoyed this new way of life, despite how challenging it was. The program achieves precisely what it promises, chronicling Clarkson's life as the ecstatic proprietor of a 1,000-acre Cotswolds farm. But because he has zero understanding or experience in agriculture, he is totally dependent on his crew. They are ready to teach him the ropes, but if something goes wrong, they won't be afraid to knock him down a peg or two as well. And a lot of things go wrong. Fans are eagerly awaiting Season 2's official release to learn what mischief the cast will get up to next. Here's everything you need to know. Clarkson's Farm Season 2 potential release date. When is the show back? The second season of Clarkson's Farm was officially announced in July 2021, and production got underway right afterward. Dan Grabiner, head of UK Originals at Amazon Studios, stated this about the announcement: Clarkson's Farm is Jeremy's honest love letter to farming. The genuineness, charm, and humor of the show, together with the amazing characters from the farm, are what have made it so popular with viewers. The announcement was subsequently confirmed in a joint video by Jeremy and his right-hand man, Caleb Cooper. Filming started and lasted for a full year, ending in July 2022. This was corroborated by Clarkson, who noted the production time while showcasing the brand new ponds he dug himself on Instagram. When a curious viewer inquired, "Any news on Season 2? Filming ends in mid-July," Jeremy said in reply. Therefore, it ought to be polished and ready to go by the start of 2019. Expect a release date in 2023 as a result, hopefully closer to the first part of the year, depending on how long post-production takes. When we find out for sure, we'll let you know. Clarkson's Farm Season 2 plot. What's going to happen? There never seems to be a dull moment on a farm, especially one run by Jeremy Clarkson. "I've owned the farm since 2008, but I haven't really been active with it at all," Jeremy said before the show debuted. It was formerly run by a villager who later retired. "I'm not sure why I suddenly had the idea that I could take over. I honestly believed that after planting seeds, food would grow as a result of the weather. I so assumed that it wouldn't be difficult. But it is very difficult, the heartache is incredible, and it is also extraordinarily poorly paid. I reasoned that some of the losses would be compensated if I could find someone to record me doing it." Well, he's discovered the hard way that farming involves more than just sowing seeds. The coronavirus epidemic caused turmoil in both production and farming during the first season, which was originally scheduled to film for more than a year. An unexpected twist was captured on camera as Jeremy was brutally honest about the farm's financial situation. The lockdown had a terrible impact on agricultural progress and the farm's capacity to produce a profit. The weather had a significant role as well, with prolonged periods of dryness making it impossible to churn the soil and prolonged periods of rain making the mud too wet and soggy to use for anything. But despite the difficulties, the group managed to pull it off. More drama will also be present in Season 2, with Grabiner hinting at what to expect at the Edinburgh TV Festival in August 2022. "We're just starting the edit, and so far, it looks great." More Gerald and Caleb Cooper. This time, Gerald is a little easier to comprehend. Every season, you might pick up on a few more of Gerald's phrases, in my opinion. It's going fantastically. Additionally, Caleb is wonderful to see. He had never appeared on television before, the speaker continued. "He is real. He was the tractor driver who just so happened to be working close to the property. And I think it just goes to show that with the appropriate platform and the right show strategy, fresh talent, especially that kind of expert, true ability, can just explode." So, in my opinion, following his ascent has been a pretty fascinating aspect of that program. Things did not get much better between 2021 and 2022, and it is anticipated that they will once again have to contend with erratic weather patterns, with heat waves, storms, and even snow hitting the UK throughout 2021 and 2022. 98% of the more than 4,500 individuals who left reviews for the show on Amazon gave Season 1 5 stars, making the possibility of Season 2 virtually inevitable. It was once believed that the show had been cancelled, but after a few awards, it is obvious that audiences have grown to love the new, rural Clarkson and his gang of agricultural brothers. In light of Jeremy's admission that he accidentally bought a bar after purchasing a brewery, it appears that the company may be expanding as well. Clarkson's Farm Season 2, who will be in the cast? Confirmed. Alongside Clarkson, the Diddley Squat Farm team is back for more rural mischief. Jeremy Clarkson will undoubtedly once again take center stage in the season. After all, this is Clarkson's farm. Without him, it would be a little strange. But Caleb Cooper, the farmhand and de facto right-hand guy, was undoubtedly the show's biggest star. The nation was won over by the youngster's desire for a perm, abhorrence of driving in London, and self-assurance in yelling at the well-known television host. Caleb is frequently the one who is most knowledgeable about daily life on Diddley Squat. He enjoys living in the country and dislikes the city, which provides for amusing back and forth conversations with the illiterate and city-loving Jeremy. After the success of the show, the young farmer said on This Morning, "I'm the boss, really. Don't misunderstand me. He is both my boss and a buddy. He doesn't pay attention to me, but on the plus side, he is interested in farming, which makes things much simpler. Because of this, if he makes a mistake, I yell at him and I'm genuinely enraged." It will be interesting to see how the farmer's helper who works for Clarkson has been doing during the interim between seasons 1 and 2. If Clarkson's words at the time are any indication, conditions on the farm may have been quite difficult. But Who Wants to Be a Millionaire host raised concerns about young farmers like Caleb being driven off the land due to the government's disregard of the farming business, which he compares to ethnic cleansing. In an interview with The Sun, "He's up against hedge fund managers now who may not want to cultivate it," said Clarkson, who added, "Caleb's terrific, but it worries me how he'll ever be able to buy his own farm." The government is being urged by Clarkson to pledge that Britain will maintain a minimum of 60% food self-sufficiency. Additionally, he is urging people to purchase British goods, arguing that they are higher quality and more environmentally friendly than imported goods. If a piece of beef in a grocery store has a small red tractor on it, it was likely manufactured in Britain. Purchase it because a poor sap in the Peak District was out raising cattle in the cold at 3 in the morning. Despite the fact that locally produced goods can occasionally cost more, he advises consumers not to be put off. "I encourage to consider, alright, it's 5p extra to buy this pork with a red tractor on it, but I'm getting better food and aiding British farming," the author writes. Lisa Hogan, Jeremy's longtime girlfriend and manager of the Diddley Squat Farm shop, will be joining the group. Additionally, there to control Jeremy and the group will be land agent Cheerful Charlie Ireland. It appears that Clarkson's enormous tractor will also make a comeback. Where did we learn this? Well, obviously, as a result of the arrival of first-look pictures to whet viewers' appetites. A helicopter has joined the tractor as a new companion. While the context is still unknown to us, we are certain that Caleb will be involved. Clarkson's Farm Season 2, is there a trailer? There isn't an official trailer for Clarkson's Farm Season 2 yet, but there are several ways to stay up to date on Diddley Squat's most recent happenings. The farm now has its own Instagram account, and Jeremy frequently updates his social media accounts. We can all agree that the kind of healthy content we desire from this series is what happened when Caleb acquired some new farm equipment in May 2022. Arya and Sansa, 2 dogs, have been adopted by the family, and they have been making their own beer. Jeremy first revealed his plans to expand the farm in January 2022, adding a 70-space parking lot and a 60-seat cafe. The council, however, turned down his motion after receiving 53 objections in total versus just 12 letters of favor, because the cafe would be out of keeping with the surrounding Cotswolds area, which is designated as an area of outstanding natural beauty. The West Oxon District Council denied approval. According to Joan Desmond, a council planning officer, the proposed construction would not be sustainable and would not be acceptable or consistent in scale with the existing farming business or its open countryside site because of its siting, design, scale, and location. The rural character, scenic beauty, and tranquility of the area will be negatively impacted by the proposed development, according to her. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more.